My name is Maddie Wenzel, and today I'm going to be talking to you about puppy mills. Let's start off with a little bit of imagery. Imagine you're searching for the perfect dog. Could be anything from a Chihuahua, Bulldog, Terrier, German Shepherd, Golden Retriever, Labrador Retriever, any of the above. You want somebody local, somebody you can trust. And you stumble upon somebody who is seemingly innocent and says they have exactly what you're looking for. So you come by and you start to look at the dogs, but then you notice something is off. There's an underlying smell of bleach to cover up some sort of odor. There are dogs who are missing teeth, limbs, eyes, patches of fur are also gone. Some have maggots in their ears and other conditions. There are dogs who are aggressive and some that are fearful of human contact. There's barely enough food for a single dog and barely any water. This depicts many of the thousands of puppy mills that are in the United States today. The people who own these mills are only in the business to make a profit off people who are blind to the danger of supporting these mills. Although puppy mills seem like a good idea because they're local and can have low prices, they're only encouraging bad behavior and the poor treatment of animals. Today I'm going to be talking about what puppy mills are, how they are run, why they're not illegal, and why we need to shut them down. So first things first, what is a puppy mill and how does it run? Many people are led to believe puppy mills are just a cool place where you can go buy a cute little dog. But the true definition is an establishment that breeds puppies for sale, typically on an intensive basis and in conditions regarded as inhumane. Puppy mills are a large commercial place where a great deal of dogs are being bred and profits matter much more than the animal's well-being. According to HumaneSociety.org, puppy mills began in the post-World War II era where demand for purebred puppies became huge after the crop failure. This created the birth of pet stores, and eventually puppies were being left astray and people would pick them up, breed them, and sell them for their own profits. The conditions within these mills are absolutely miserable. First of all, the cages are so small that dogs can barely move around in them. They barely have enough food to keep them malnourished at best. Their water is never clean and is typically infested with bugs, and they are never taken to the vet, and paired with these dirty conditions, they end up losing eyes, teeth, limbs, furs, ears, etc. Female dogs get the absolute worst of it. They are forced to breed every heat cycle they have. That leads to health issues for both the mother and the litter. Once a dog is considered non-viable or not useful, they're killed. This brings me to my next point of why puppy mills aren't illegal. Most states say that somebody can keep hundreds of dogs in kennels as long as they're given the basics of food, water, and shelter. You would think that after the many investigations and confirmed abuse of animals, puppy mills would be illegal and looked at more carefully. There have been numerous investigations that have exposed puppy mills. There was an investigation in Kentucky 2019 where an investigator bought a puppy named Jasper who had a condition caused by eating raw poultry and contaminated water. Because it was very contagious, there were other dogs that had it as well. So they went to the original place and found the other 6 dogs that were being sold while having this disease that was contagious. This ended up with heavy regulation of the specific location, but there have been other puppy mills throughout the United States that have been sued and shut down because of consumer complaints of sick dogs. The sad truth is that people do not either realize that they're buying from a puppy mill or don't care because they're getting a great deal. There are many signs to recognize a possible puppy mill breeder. Petful.com says these are the signs. The breeder does not remember how many litters the female produced, water is dirty, there's little food, the conditions are dirty as well, animals are incredibly thin, the animals are kept outside and exposed to the elements, and the breeding parents are never around as they are the ones supplying these mills with the dogs. My last point comes to why we need to shut them down. According to Petful.com, there are at least 10,000 puppy mills and fewer than 3,000 of them are truly regulated by the United States Department of Agriculture. These mills are able to stay open because people still support them and are still legal in most states as long as they're given the basic requirements. Because they're only required to give the dogs food, water, and shelter, breeders have a loophole they can easily go through. Some states like New York, New Hampshire, Wisconsin, Illinois have all banned puppy mills throughout their state. There is the Animal Welfare Act and the United States Department of Agriculture that are in place to oversee commercial dog breeding. The PuppyMillProject.org lays out what is allowed under the AWA, but it only requires the bare minimum for pet care. It basically lets the mill owner decide what's adequate and fit for these dogs. The USDA is supposed to have inspectors to go out and check on these mills, but they have a history of taking no action to these violators. This brings the question of what can we do to shut these down? First of all, if you're looking for a dog, go to somewhere you can trust, like a shelter or rescue group that put these animals' needs as their priority. Secondly, you can always support laws that are in favor of these dogs. And third of all, just be aware and spread awareness as you know. Because of the states recently banning and regulating mills, the hope is this becomes the end of commercial breeding. Today I covered the way mills are run, why they're not illegal, and why we need to shut them down. I hope you see how inhumane commercial breeding truly is. Here I have a couple of visuals to show what states have regulations set in place for these mills. And then this is the state of Iowa that lays out all the counties that actually have puppy mills and how many dogs are there to kind of show how big of an issue this truly is. There are thousands of animals suffering right now due to the abuse of these breeders who are only in it for the massive payoff. These defenseless dogs are being neglected for the love of money. So few of these dogs leave these mills. So if I am able to leave you with one thought today, keep in mind that these dogs are being horribly treated and need help from more than one outlet.